Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for clicking on this weird commentary track. I'm Martin Prevost.
I'm Courtney Crown.
And this is Smashy Smashy Eggman movie reviews and more, a commentary on the 1992 Royal Rumble. As you can see, they're currently running through the participants of the actual Rumble match, because in 1992, there weren't surprises. They didn't have surprise entrants. You were told everyone who was in it right on the front of the show.
Huh.
So it's a weird...
Oh, that guy seems racist.
Wait, which one? The
Colonel Mustafa?
Mustafa?
Oh,
Yes.
and British Bulldog. No, not a good look, man. Ooh, wow. Apparently the theme was racism.
This was 1992. And yes. So yeah.
Yeah. Virgil!
Yeah, he's named after Dusty Rhodes. Because Dusty Rhodes' real name is Virgil Rhodes. Or Virgil Runnels is his real name. So as a dig at him, they made $1 Million Man's black manservant Virgil.
Well, as long as they're keeping the racism theme going strong.
And then they hired Dusty Rhodes and had him feud with the $1 Million Man and his black manservant Virgil.
Ooh.
That all happened in the 80s. So that's before...
Got it.
So this is a very interesting Royal Rumble, because before this point in the history, the Rumble was never competed for a prize. It was just a match. You just did it, and you got like the woohoo, I won this thing.
Huh.
This one is for the world title.
Oh.
Because it had been vacated. So yeah, so all 30 of those guys who they just listed are technically competing for the world title. Though, like, 20 of them, you absolutely know, have no chance. And we also have an Intercontinental title match on this show.
Got it.
There'll be a lot of me explaining wrestling to Courtney. Which is how it is whenever she watches wrestling with me.
I am not what you would call an expert.
But we went back in time a little bit. She should actually know some of these names.
I did. I recognized some of them.
So that's kind of why I kind of wanted to go older, because I figured she might recognize a few more names.
Yeah.
Versus...
Hey, the names I come up with when we watch anything wrestling...
And that's fine.
...helps me understand. Like, beefed up Jared Leto. That is...
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins, yes.
Yes.
And...
Mr. Fuji with the Orient Express.
Oh, dear God. Just when I think it can't get more racist.
Oh, no. You see the dude under the mask?
Yeah?
Not Oriental at all.
Oh, dear God.
I forget that wrestler's actual name, but he's a white guy. He did wrestle in Japan for a while, but he's a white guy. They just needed a second guy to make this tag team, because this tag team's existed. This is the ass end of this tag team's existence, and
those are some fly outfits.
Oh yes, Owen Hart and Jim Neidhart. Yes.
This is a rather different experience than what you've had me watch before.
Oh, modern wrestling is far different from early '90s wrestling.
It's very different.
We're right on the line of the steroid trial. So...
They actually gave him steroids?
There was a trial in the early 90s. Vince McMahon was accused of giving his wrestler steroids. He
would. And then he'd come out and say he was going to give an apology after he got fired, and then come out and say nothing, and then 30 seconds walk out. Very boss move. Very much a dick. But you gotta respect a boss move like that.
In the end of 92, early 93, is the steroid scandal. So all like the beefed up Hulk Hogan's and all those guys quickly got
skinny
written out for the skinny guys to become the top dogs. Because
Someone might want to tell those two they need to put their jackets on, because otherwise their boot pant things look really weird without the matching
Oh, their
jacket.
boot pants things just look really weird. Actually, I have in my bin of old school wrestling toys, I have both Owen Hart and Jim Neidhart in those pants.
Beautiful. Wow, this is... Ow. Ow. Like, I was about to make fun of him because it looks so bad, but yet it looks like it actually hurts.
Yes.
It's so bad, it's good.
Owen Hart's a great wrestler. Was a great wrestler.
Did he literally just help him set that up?
Yes.
That's so nice of him. What?
It was a
literally hooked the rope.
Yep.
Okay. Whoa! That was okay. That was cool. That was cool. Oh, you know they had that guy tanning to pull off looking Oriental.
Probably. We actually research quick because I know I'm correct in what I'm saying because the Orient Express was two very different. Well, not two very different people. But the year before this, in the 1991 Royal Rumble, which I have a poster for on my wall, because it's my favorite pay-per-view, just because of childhood memories, the Orient Express also wrestled the opening match on that one. It actually was two Orient guys in outfits that made them look like the WWF Gamer Crank.
That's He's that move's helping his hips. I do something very similar twice a day to help my hips with running. But my feet are flat. I have not tried it on my tippy toes because my chiropractor has not told me to.
No?
No, and I listen to my chiropractor. Ooh, well that was balance. Oh, he just wanted to bounce. That's all that was. He just wanted to butt bounce.
A little bit.
Wow.
Paul Diamond. Paul Diamond's the dude under the mask.
Huh. Also, that footwear does not seem very supportive.
On which?
On either. Like, look at this thing. I mean, like, where's the ankle support? Where's the heel support? Where's the ankle support?
Again, this is 1992.
I know. I can still criticize.
Yes, you can.
We have come a long way.
Now, do you prefer the yellow checkered or Owen Hart's green checkered? Also, why does Jim Neidhart's belt and checkered combo kind of look like they go together, but Owen Hart's doesn't?
So, I don't know what this says entirely about me. I both registered and didn't register that the wrestler switched.
Tag action. Oh man, Jim Neidhart. He's not a bad wrestler. He just got pigeonholed because he was originally, when he first started, Bret Hart's tag team partner, which is Owen's brother.
Now, this is a question.
Yes.
I phrased it like that. He grabbed his butt.
Yeah, that's how you do a power slam. Or attempt a power slam.
And I mean, it wasn't like he was getting like bottom crack. But so I know I have commented when we have watched stuff before that they really like the baby oil.
Yes. Jim Neidhart really likes the baby. Yes.
Okay. Well, I didn't know because he's a bigger guy. I didn't know if it was sweat or if it was baby oil.
Baby oil. He hasn't done a lot in this match for it to be sweat.
To be fair, Brock Lesnar doesn't really do a whole lot, and that man is drenched in an ocean within 30 seconds.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I just realized I'm going to be able to finally watch a Royal Rumble without a bunch of suplexes. Yay!
That is true. This Royal Rumble is going to be a very different experience than the 2022 Royal. We went 20 years into the past.
Hey!
Didn't even
no, we went 30 years in the
30
past.
years. Sorry, yeah, you're right. 30 years.
This is This is going to be a lot more enjoyable when it's not just 50 billion suplexes.
You're right. Unless you want me pointing out who's alive and who's dead. That gets sad.
I'm going to assume most of them dead.
At least half this match, I'm not 100% sure on the Orient Express.
Ooh.
But I'm 100% sure on the other team.
Oh, I thought you meant like Royal Rumble, and then
because I'd have to watch. I'd have to go through who's all in that one again. I think a lot of them might still be alive. Even at least one of them still wants to do a match.
See, if we were thinking, Martin, you could have had your little slips of paper with the numbers on them, and we could have seen if finally AJ wouldn't just win both Royal Rumble bets.
Well, this one only has one Royal Rumble. And it's easy.
Oh, because they didn't believe women could wrestle yet because they're sexist and racist.
This was the early 90s, so yes, they didn't believe women could wrestle. Or if they did wrestle, it was a, kind of like a sideshow attraction. Like, it's part of it, but it wasn't taken seriously. A joke match.
Just when I thought I couldn't dislike Vince McMahon more.
But that wasn't just WWE, that was a lot of the WWF, that was a lot of wrestling at the time. Although there was Glow, which was a promotion that did try to focus on women's wrestling.
Fair enough.
I don't know how successful they really were, because they really didn't elevate women's wrestling. And it was still kind of treated as a...
Wait, this thing is almost 3 hours and it only has one Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
What the hell is the rest of this?
Well, the Rumble that it had... Well, the Rumble we watched was almost 4 hours. Or was over 4 hours.
That was two
Rumbles. It had
Rumbles.
2 Rumbles and, like, 3 other matches.
Okay, we're going to put loose quotes around those words because I don't follow wrestling and even I know you could barely call some of those matches.
That is true. I think... This one, I think that just some of these opening matches just have a little more time to... Like, this match that we're watching now, if this was a modern pay-per-view, this would have been done already with how much time we've been watching. This match would have ended. They wouldn't have given these for this much time to open the show. But, if you're actually... It's kind of a more entertaining match because they have time to do something.
Fair.
Versus go take 10 minutes and...
So, are we going to be allowed to take bets on when the hanging sign catches on fire?
That won't happen.
Dang it!
That only happened this year.
But that was really funny because it happened twice.
Yes, but only affected the show once. When you could tell the crowd was definitely not watching Becky Lynch versus Doudrop.
No one was watching that. That would have been the same crowd reaction even if there hadn't been a sign on fire.
Very possible. Very possible.
That was a very boring match.
It was a little boring.
Like, it was very uneven, and you knew the one was afraid of breaking the other. Not necessarily because of the weight thing, but because of the superiority, like the ranking.
Yeah.
And, you know, she can't just automatically crush someone that's like 20 levels above her and expect to still have a job. So...
actually, we get some big men in a tag match at this show. Because one of these matches involves the Natural Disasters, who are 2 big guys fighting the Legion of Doom, who are at least big muscular guys.
Fair.
They're not. It's not when the Natural Disasters fight the Rockers, which is, you know, big beefy boys fighing sticks.
He was trying to rip his face off via his nose? What was that?
Yes, it was trying to stop him from tagging in Jim Neidhart. This is known in wrestling as the build-up to the hot tag. Basically, the heels beat the crap out of the weaker tag partner, who is generally the light heavyweight of the team, keeping him from being able to tag until finally he's able to make the tag to the bruiser of the team, who then beats the crap out of both opponents, and sometimes ends with the dude who just got his butt whooped for a very long period of time in the match, somehow springing back to life and also attacking people, because that's how stamina works.
That was a very good sounding explanation, and I'm sorry I accidentally zoned out of it 3 different times.
Yes. Good. Good. I expect nothing less. Actually, I expected 4. You did a little better than expectations.
Thank you.
Good for you.
Thank
Down
you.
the back. Down the back.
Thank you.
I'm not actually going to touch your back.
I patted myself on the back.
Yes. Mr. Fuji.
So, are fake Asian guy and actual Asian guy the heel?
Yes.
Got it.
Because they have the manager. Basically, in the early 90s...
If you had a manager, you were a heel?
90% of the time.
Undertaker was a heel?
No, he was the exception.
Got it.
There were often, like, 1 or 2 exceptions, but 90% of the time, if you have a manager, you're the heel.
Got it. Undertaker's in this Rumble, isn't he?
Yes.
Yay! I get to see the Undertaker wrestle!
And actually, the Undertaker did start off as a heel. At this point, he's actually just a couple of months away from going face.
Oh.
At this exact moment, he is a heel. Because he's part of the reason why...
Did he just slam his head
Yes.
into that dude's crotch?
I believe the actual move is the thigh is where his head was supposed to go, but it looks like the crotch. Short answer, yes.
Hey, asshole, it's called consent.
Bobby Heenan.
Sorry, I know we try not to swear during these things, but that felt needed. My apologies to anyone watching this with children.
That's weird. Why would anyone watch this, let alone with children? I have high self-worth of what I do.
Hey, it's like when I did the other one with you, and
The Die Hard commentary.
I mean, I was referring to the one that hasn't been released yet.
Oh, that episode.
Yes,
Okay, yeah, that
one.
comes out. I have no idea when I'm gonna finish editing this. It comes out in August.
Got it.
Second week of August.
Got it. Well, when we did that one, I was like, hey, this person, I know you watch because you have to manifest things. You have to verbalize them and let the universe know you want it to happen. Which is why there will be a ladder sword fight at a Money in the Bank match at some point. Because that is awesome, and I would not stop talking about that the entire time we watched it.
It's true. So those checkered things are just overlays, I guess? Because you can see Owen Hart on his one boot.
Yep.
The illusion is ruined.
Dude, that was almost on the guy's head.
Oh, yeah?
Ow!
But, Undertaker's actually part of the reason why the world title is being defended, or not being defended, but is up in the Royal Rumble match.
Huh.
Because he fought Hulk Hogan at the November pay-per-view. Because this is when they only did one once every quarter.
Ah.
And that one ended when Ric Flair showed up and gave Undertaker a steel chair to help him win.
Woo!
And then Hogan the next week at an extra pay-per-view that is horrible. It's a horrible pay-per-view. I've watched it. It's bad. The next week, Hogan beat The Undertaker in also not clean fashion. So the belt was stripped and is now being defended and is now the winner of the Rumble wins the belt. With the only caveat being Hogan and Undertaker are guaranteed numbers between 20 and 30. Bam! Double clothesline.
Ow!
I feel like the Masked Orient Expresser is missing something by not being shoeless like his partner. Yes.
With the gold booty shorts.
Yes. Riddle.
Riddle, yes.
Riddle is the name of gold booty shorts.
I generally refer to him as Stoner Dude.
That is true. You do refer to him as Stoner Dude.
He's just so fun.
He is. He's a lot of fun.
And she's one of the exceptions to my generally the person in the shiniest costume is the heel. Because he's in a very shiny costume, and I thought you said he was a face.
He is. He's very loved by the fans. But he's a hard character to hate.
He's just so fun.
Like, the only way that kind of gimmick can get hated is if you, like, you have to, like, be an over-the-top jerk. Then you can get the crowd to hate you. But even then, they still kind of like you.
Or you go for the third option and just do nothing but no less than 100 suplexes in a match. Brock Lesnar.
You really have a problem with Brock Lesnar.
I do, because all he does is suplexes, and it's boring.
And she's only watched one match with him and a Royal Rumble he was in.
That is true.
And there is a true wrestling fan hatred of Brock Lesnar there.
He's my wrestling.
See, Owen got his butt whooped for like 15 minutes straight.
And now he's just a bouncy.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. He helped him spin.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, this is so old. They're actually handing out concessions. This was PC. Or BC, before COVID.
Yes.
Oh, I said PC because I was thinking pre-COVID. Got it. I got it.
And the New Foundation win the match with their finisher, the Rocket Launcher. It's a great name for a finisher. You know, he's the Rocket Owen Hart, the Rocket Launcher.
Oh, someone, dude, your Velcro for your rope is coming undone, dude.
I don't care if that cane was gimmicked. That could not have felt nice. To this day, I have no idea, other than it looks kind of cool, what the other dude is actually doing to add emphasis onto that splash.
Oh my gosh, this guy is British.
Yes, Lord... I know his name. I can't think of his name. But he's just covering things that had to happen.
Hey, that's not very nice
and
Canadian of you, Bounty.
No, it's not. And Bret Hart actually had like 100 and something degree fever. He was actually sick. Like, what the dude is saying is that he went in the ring against his doctor's orders because he was sick. He was actually very sick. That's why he had to do this. Because he was supposed to fight the Mountie at this pay-per-view for the belt. But because he was so sick, they instead had him do this, like, probably what ended up being, like, a minute-and-a-half match. So the Mountie could win the belt and he could fight Roddy Piper instead. So, you know, Bret Hart could not fight super sick.
Oh, Bret Hart is one I know.
Yes.
And Roddy Piper does sound familiar.
Yes.
Oh, dude, he just lifted up his pants. He's serious.
He's the wrestler that fights in a kilt.
Ooh, but he's not in a kilt there.
No, well, I mean, he comes down, he enters in a kilt.
Commit to the bit, dude.
He's Canadian.
All right, so, correction. I redact my previous statement that the theme was racism. That was harsh. The true theme was just cultural appropriation by everybody.
Basically, I have a Roddy Piper pop.
Huh. Oh, back when wrestlers talked like that.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, off of 2 days' notice. You tell him. Is he actually Canadian?
Yes.
Hey, they got one right.
The Mountie is actually Canadian. French Canadian.
Oh, that explains why he's a heel.
Actually, oddly enough, what he was doing before he did this gimmick was a tag team with his brother, where they were actually faces. But they
there's the kill.
Yep. But they were wrestling French Canadians.
Oh, Rowdy. I said Roddy.
Roddy Piper.
Rowdy. Alright. I was about to question why is he not in his Scottish accent if he's wearing a kilt, and then I listened more and went, oh, he's actually attempting a Scottish accent. He's just that bad at it.
No, that's just a speaking voice. That's his actual speaking voice. He is not affecting anything.
That it can't make up its mind if it's Scottish or not? Although, side note, that is very feathery hair. Are you watching how it's bouncing as he's moving?
Yes.
Like, that's a bounce that Minnie would be envious of.
Yes. Yes, he has very feathery hair.
Very. So they're wrestling in this and they're doing
Just Piper. Because he was announced to be in the Rumble.
I thought I saw the Mountie in the lineup of things.
No, he's just in this match. Piper is the first person to ever wrestle both a match beforehand and in the Rumble itself. Because he was announced to do it, then Bret Hart got sick, so they needed someone to do this.
So, Mr. Colorful Jacket there?
Jimmy Hart. The guy with the megaphone.
So he's not connected to Bret Hart?
No.
There are a lot of last names of Hart in this, and they're not related to each other.
Oddly enough, Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart's tag team was called the Hart Foundation. They were originally managed by Jimmy Hart, and it's his heart that is technically on the name, not Bret Hart's heart. It's weird.
That's very weird.
It gets... So, and actually Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart are related through marriage. Because Jim Neidhart married one of Bret Hart's sisters. Yeah. Because, you saw her wrestle, Natalia.
Yeah.
Jim Neidhart, that's the dog.
Oh, are you talking the one that was very much her dad?
Yes.
Got it.
That looked like, yes, that was built like her father. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. But all I needed to do is see one picture of her dad and went, yep, there was no need for a paternity test on that one. No need to call up Maury. You are the father.
Yes.
Piper's cold.
Well, I mean, how many people are in that arena? It's January in New York.
But there's a lot of people in there.
It's January in New York.
It's true. Hey, Mr. Jacket, sir. Please get out of there.
Oh, this isn't even the only time we're going to see him tonight.
Oh, fantastic. I like the jacket, the color combo.
Oh, man. Classic, like, 80s Jimmy Hart. That jacket is, so that jacket, if you could actually see it enough to read it, it'll list basically everyone he manages. Like, airbrushed on there. Back in the 80s,
Oh, so he's just a manager.
He's just a manager, yeah. Jimmy Hart's just a manager. But he manages a ton of people. But yeah, back in the 80s when he'd work a more normal show like a SummerSlam or a WrestleMania, he'd have a different coat for every person he represented. I think there's a show where he came out 5 different times in 5 different coats.
Huh.
And some of those matches, didn't have a lot of, like, this match ends, this match begins. So he had to have been running backstage, just like throwing off a coat, throwing on a new coat.
Yeah, Rowdy Piper does seem familiar.
Yeah. He's also an actor. I can't think of anything you would have seen him in.
Well, no, I meant like him as a wrestler.
Yeah.
Familiar to me.
Yeah, he's one of the more historically relevant wrestlers.
Okay, apparently the leapfrog completely over the dude was this decade's suplex.
I mean, it was something if you could do it. It's a cool thing. I mean, I probably would have talked to the people in the first match to make sure they weren't doing it. To, you know, break it up a little bit. But, I mean, especially, I guess it's different depending on who's doing it. Like, Owen Hart doing it, it's not that surprising. He's a little guy. He looks like he's got a lot of oomph in him. Watching these two do it, it's a little more impressive because these are bigger guys. Because what we don't get...
Ooh, that was like a broken knee.
That's what it's... Yes, that's the correct reaction. Because it doesn't play because they're all like this, about the same height. But you've seen Rey Mysterio Jr., right? The little Rey Mysterio. He's like considered one of the smaller wrestlers in wrestling.
Was he in the Royal Rumble we watched?
Yes, the masked. He would have been.
Got it.
So he was short compared to everyone else. He's my height.
What?
He's just under 6 feet.
Damn.
So.
Now,
most wrestlers clock in over 6 feet. Or he's 5 something.
Got it. So, because they had showed it in a previous shot there. What's the stick thing that the Mountie is always carrying?
It's a cattle prod.
Oh dear God, don't owe him money.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be evil Canadian law enforcement, and apparently they use cattle prods? I have no idea.
I mean, you just gotta think, hey, what's the opposite of Canada? And, well, it's the 90s, so they could have, but maybe they had enough wherewithal to go, well, we can't let him walk in with a gun.
It's true. I mean, even the American police officer, who's also a character at this time, doesn't enter with a gun. He enters with handcuffs and a nightstick.
And with music that sounds like...
No, his music is amazing.
I know, but what you just described, to me, he looks like a stripper.
Oddly enough, if his shirt comes off, he's losing the match.
Huh.
He actually had that trope in his repertoire, because he wore a button-up blue... Yep, if the shirt ripped open, he lost the match. But if it stayed buttoned, he'd win the match.
Huh.
It was a weird, calling card. But he actually had really good music. You won't hear it, because I'm pretty sure he's in the Rumble, and this is before they started using music for entrances.
Oh, that was fun.
It was good when they finally decided they needed to start adding that in. To let everyone know exactly who's coming out.
I'm coming out.
And there's our musical interlude. Bam!
I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Gotta let it show. I'm coming out.
So, for the Mountie, this is a huge thing for him. This was his only singles championship for his time in the World Wrestling Federation.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, that was an impressive gymnastics.
Skin the cats are always cool. Doesn't matter who's doing it.
Wait, did he just get him to hammer his own manager?
Yes.
Okay, that was awesome.
Oh no, he's got the cattle prod. I'm sorry, shock stick. shock stick is the nomenclature, but it's a cattle prod.
Got it. So he never fought. Did he just snap his neck?
No, he put him to sleep.
No, I'm pretty sure we just witnessed a murder.
No, the Mountie.
We're accomplices! Don't watch this, you're an accomplice too!
Again, 1992.
Statute of limitations, man. We're still within it.
No, we're not.
Oh, yeah, most states after 30 years. Oh, that's why we can watch this one. Okay, guys, false alarm.
No, his finisher is a sleeper hold.
He's about to get him with his own stick.
Probably. To wake him up. It's very thoughtful. But now again, for the Mountie, this was his only singles title reign. He won it 2 nights before this. And just lost it.
So, not that I wasn't paying attention, but for anyone at home that wasn't paying attention, can you go through that explanation one more time?
For the Mountie, this was his only singles title reign. He won it 2 nights before this, and just lost it.
And never had it again.
Never got another shot with a singles title. And oddly enough, this is also Roddy Piper's only singles championship.
Ah. So they just had a lot of tag team?
Actually, Piper would hold would be a tag team champion once. The Mountie actually was a multi-time tag team champion. Piper would be a tag team champion once in 2004, 2005?
Wow.
When he was old. He was very old. Teaming with Ric Flair.
Woo!
They held the tag titles once. So those are the only belts Piper ever held in the World Wrestling Federation.
So did they just not go through belts a lot back then?
No. From the late 80s until 1989, Hulk Hogan was the world champion. Most champions held their belts for a considerable amount of time. And Piper was a world title contender for the 80s.
I'm also really enjoying this. Hey guys, we need everyone to clear the bathroom. We have to film a scene.
Yep. It's very different than what you see in wrestling today, where they'd go out to the ring and
they build a set.
Yep. Well, they do build a set too, like that ugly painted dressing room set that the Mountie was interviewed in.
Yeah.
That's a set. That's not the actual dressing room of this venue. That was probably an actual bathroom that for some reason had Hulk Hogan right. Oh God, this is a match.
What am I watching right now?
These are the Bushwhackers.
Oh dear God.
Bushwhackers are a huge comedy act. They were really over. People really liked them.
Oh dear God. Does he actually only have 2 teeth on top?
No, he has no teeth on top. His front teeth are gone. What you're seeing are his canines.
And I'm assuming the dude eating his tie is their manager?
Technically? That's a long story that I'm not prepared to, This is called the bathroom break match. This is where you allow fans to get up and go pee.
Ah.
Because their quote-unquote manager is Jameson, who's a nerd?
I'm very...
Yeah, no, everybody is.
Very confused. It's like the chick that couldn't make up her mind what she wanted to be. Was she
now she's a heel.
Oh, she fully committed.
Committed last night on SmackDown.
Is she still very confusing with her outfits? Or?
I didn't watch SmackDown. I just read a recap.
Got it. Well, she finally picked something.
So you know Macho Man Randy Savage, right?
Yeah.
So, their manager, the dude in the black robe, the genius, that is Randy Savage's brother.
Oh.
Who also has one of the greatest stories for working when he worked for WCW.
Oh, you can totally tell that's Macho Man.
You know, when you hear it, you look at it and go, no, that's definitely, they're from the same.
I don't even need to hear him talk, and I know that is Macho Man Randy Savage's brother.
Also, he's about to read a poem, which he did a lot. He wrote all of these.
Rejoice in all the splendor of the brothers Beverly, as they fulfill my genius master plan. And I, the genius, must defile that waste of human tissue. That Jameson who calls himself a man.
Yeah, anytime he would do one, he wrote it himself.
This is an interesting
Yes.
bit.
But this match isn't going to be anything worth anything. Lanny Poffo is the genius's actual name. He worked for World Championship Wrestling the same time his brother did, because his brother said, hey, if you're going to sign me, you got to sign my brother. Randy Savage was very much into taking care of his family. He was only inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame because he died, and therefore could no longer make demands to induct his family. Lanny Poffo was paid by WCW a very large sum of money, under contract for years, made exactly 0 appearances for anything, on a TV show, at a house, never actually worked a day, but got paid for years on a contract.
Oh, so it's like the smart people versus the really stupid people
Basically. So you're supposed to root for the dumb people.
that keep licking everything.
Yes. Hey, for the Bushwhackers, this was probably the easiest thing they did in their career. And they were huge. Never won, belts, but they were a huge comedy act. Because I don't know if you noticed the one, you're probably looking more at his teeth than anything else, but his forehead had a bunch of scarring on it. Because these guys started off their career as bloody hardcore wrestlers. That was their gimmick. Is that they were going to spill blood, either their blood or somebody else's blood.
And then they went, that's painful, let's just act stupid.
They got hired by the WWF, which didn't do that kind of wrestling, so they had to come up with something new, and they came up with this, which did exactly what you want. They sold merchandise, they got themselves on pay-per-views and TV.
I still don't get why the dude is eating his chai. What is that supposed to tell me
I
about
have
him?
nothing. One of them, I forget which one, for the longest time held the shortest time in a Royal Rumble match. Actually, it was the 91 Rumble. He entered doing their, weird strut thing. Another wrestler grabbed him. He never broke stride on his strut and literally just walked him from one side of the ring to the other side of the ring and threw him over the top rope. It would only be, I'm pretty sure only one person has broken his time. No, 2. And they're both people who literally slid in, stood up, and then got
Pushed out?
Pushed out, yeah. It was supposed to be 3, but the last guy who tried it, everybody screwed up the timing. So instead of going out in a second, he was in the ring for 5 seconds. Yes, this is happening.
The licking!
Yes.
The constant licking.
This would not be a...
And the mouth,
The Bushwhackers are... Jameson found a roll. So now he's not chewing on his tie anymore.
He pulled it out of his pocket.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I just... Oh, good. They're having the crowd chant Sissy.
Yes. It's the 90s. Again, it's supposed to be the blue-collar people versus...
The educated wizards.
Kind of, yes.
Because, I saw the dude reading the poem, Macho Man's brother.
Yes.
And I instantly got the vibe. And then I looked at the two wrestlers and went, they don't look like smart people, they look like wizards. I mean, not that wizards can't be smart. Hermione Granger showed us that there are smart people.
Look at that mullet.
Ooh, that is a very nice mullet. I don't, there's so much about this that I don't understand.
It's, even as a fan, this is a hard one to go, to get into just because it's such a weird moment. And the Beverleys...
Oh my god, he literally just bit the dude on the butt.
Yeah, that was a bushwhacker thing.
What is with this dude licking and biting things?
It's what the bushwhackers... They're bushwhackers. They're from Australia. That's what they do in Australia.
They're supposed to be from Australia? I thought they were rednecks.
No, they are actually all from Australia. Hence, bushwhackers. No, they look like just like the rednecks, but no, they're supposed to be inbred Aussies. Well, they are Aussies, but
the inbred is, we don't know.
Now they're cousins in real life, though they do look like they should be brothers.
They 100% look like they should be brothers.
They're cousins.
Are they brother cousins?
As far as I know, they're just cousins. I don't think
as long as they're not kissing cousins.
Well, they're licking cousins.
Oh yeah, they are licking cousins, so they are probably kissing cousins. Oh my god, you just wasted. You had a perfectly good roll, and you threw it at the guy.
Well, he had to do something with it.
Yeah, it's called eat it. It was a perfectly good roll. And now he's back to chewing the...
Because, by the way, what I can remember, Jameson is a character that Vince McMahon saw and thought was hilarious. Hence, why he was part of WWF television.
Did the fans agree?
No. This is like Jameson's only appearance on a pay-per-view. He basically just kind of disappeared into the nothingness after this. But that's the thing about watching an old pay-per-view is sometimes you see that like blink and you miss it moment of what the hell was anyone thinking, and why doesn't anyone tell Vince McMahon this is a bad idea?
Like Vince McMahon would have listened.
No, he doesn't listen. And the man thing, but that's what he thinks is fun. And sometimes he books because he just wants to laugh. If you make Vince McMahon laugh, it's better than having the crowd on your side. That's also why at some point Vince McMahon had a mentally challenged wrestler.
No!
His name was Eugene.
Oh my god!
He wore his coat inside out.
Vince McMahon is a terrible person.
Yes. Yeah, what's worse... Well, I don't know. This might actually be better. The fans really liked Eugene. They thought he was fun and funny, and they cheered him.
They weren't laughing with him. They were all...
Well, because the actual wrestler wasn't. Like, it was just a character. So, yeah, they were laughing at the idea. They weren't laughing with the idea.
Yeah, it does not make it better.
No, it doesn't. But these are the things that happened, and these are the things that have happened in wrestling. Have these guys really done any actual wrestling?
No, they haven't even done the hop over.
No, these guys won't. I mean, maybe one of the Beverly Brothers could. The Bushwhackers, no, they don't have that kind of ability. The Bushwhackers sold themselves strictly on their ability to get people to cheer. Not really on their abilities to wrestle. Yeah.
Proof that the Three Stooges did have children.
I love Bobby Heenan. Some of his commentary is amazing.
You're just unhappy because you retired as a manager, and now you can't
Oof.
You're what? Managed the Bruce Wayne do that. What did they do, Jameson?
Oh. Okay, he found a different thing to chew on.
He
Okay.
finds very many things to chew on, apparently. I guess nerds chew on things? I don't know. Yeah.
This is.
There's nothing to say.
Can this one just be done?
I can't have that much time left. It's a Bushwhacker match.
Did the Bushwhackers ever win anything?
Oh, they won matches, but no, they never won belts. Not in the WWF. No. They respected their tag titles a little too much back then to put the belts on. Yeah. Nowadays, they probably would have been tag champions. They respect their belts.
How long were they in the WWF?
From, I don't remember exactly when, but it would have been sometime in the late 80s, so 86, 87, through 94, I think?
Okay.
They have a pretty decent run with the company. But again, this is all they ever did, was just comedy routines, or when they did the Survivor Series, they were throwaway teammates for somebody.
Oh, dear Lord.
That's the thing. Like, nerds, even back in the early 90s, were considered intelligent. So I don't get the Jameson character because...
They're playing him like an idiot.
Yeah. Like, I think Jameson started off as a foil for Bobby Heenan on a talk show that they did.
Uh-huh.
And then they decided to have him show up here.
This is okay.
Yeah, I know. The first match and the second match were actually some decent wrestling. Again, this is a pee break. You're supposed to get up and go pee, or go buy concessions, or go buy merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to you can even hear the crowd. Like, and look at the crowd. They are
not into this.
They are so bored. Like, this crowd is so bored with this match. Look, he's walking. Because apparently...
Can they not walk normally?
No, apparently they can't. Now the Genius is going to go do something to Jameson.
I wouldn't call it despicable, because it's what I've wanted to do since I saw him.
Right?
No, he hit me on.
God. Right, because he didn't know how to take a slap, so he had no choice
but to
slap it.
This is telling me a lot about Vince McMahon's sense of humor.
Yes. You haven't even seen anything from the Attitude Era.
The Attitude Era?
Yeah, it's when WWE made its most money.
Oh.
Well, I mean, next to now, but now it's all because of contracts with networks, but they were actually making money based on revenue from fans.
Oh.
The Attitude Era, Steve Austin was the big name of the Attitude Era. But for every great Steve Austin thing, you got stuff like a wrestler, an Olympic athlete named Mark Henry, having a sexual relationship with a 70-year-old woman and her somehow getting pregnant.
Oh.
And then giving birth to a hand.
What the frick?
Yes. None of which I just said was me, Joe. It was literally a rubber hand.
That's disgusting.
A little, yes.
What? She birthed the hand just to slap people?
I don't know. There was no follow-up. Mark Henry was sent to developmental after that. If doing that angle wasn't punishment enough.
Ay, ay.
Oh, look, you could buy Hulk Hogan finger. Dude just walked by selling Hulk Hogan fingers.
Oh, man.
That's how uninteresting this match is.
Foam finger.
Because I noticed the dude selling the foam finger.
Foam finger. I want a foam finger.
That was a move.
That was a move.
How is this match still going? I think that every time I see this match. Like, it is such a good Rumble itself. I forget this match exists. Like, if memory serves, I'm pretty sure the Bushwhackers actually win this thing. But I can't believe this is still going on.
Oh, that was a crotch grab.
Yeah, there's a bit of a crotch grab. Oh no, the Beverly Brothers won. My memory was wrong. That was the end of the match. I didn't even realize that was the end of the match.
To be fair, that was the only outcome I could accept.
Was the Beverly Brothers winning?
Yes.
I get why, because I think they actually wanted the Beverly Brothers to be contenders. And, losing to the... Oh, this is their finisher, by the way. That's the Bushwhackers' finisher.
Yeah, it's as stupid as they are.
Yes, it is. But again, they were popular. They sold merchandise. That's, by itself, that's saying something. It's one, they had merchandise. And two, they sold the merchandise. People bought their merchandise.
Oh, dear God. Just end
Why does he only have one shoe?
I don't know. He probably ate it. What is in your mouth? Spit it out.
Oh, it's your shoe. Did you take bites, or did you just... Oh, he kicked him in the shin.
With his socked foot.
Why are we still on this? Why is there still a camera pointing at
I
this?
don't know.
Why has someone in the production booth not moved to something else? Oh, there's the shoe's on the... He lost it getting into the ring. I don't know how you lose a shoe getting into the ring. I know how you can blow out a quad getting into the ring. Vince McMahon taught me that one.
Alright.
It's called run at the ring real angry and then slide in and smack your leg against the edge of the ring. And then you fall straight on your ass. And then you have to try to correct a situation on your ass. And then you're such a manly man, you try walking away and blow the other quad.
I want to look it up so bad, but I need to focus.
2004 Royal Rumble?
These guys I remember.
Yeah. Hey, these guys were good. this is their prime.
Did you use a setting spray? Otherwise your makeup is gonna run.
No, the makeup probably won't be on them by the end of the match. So their haircuts,
Yes.
when they first started tagging, the first promoter that booked them as a tag team suggested those haircuts. With the concept that because he's a no-hawk and he's a mohawk, they look like they plug in together.
Was their promoter Jameson?
Nope. I don't know who their promoter was, but that was their rationale.
They look like they could
Plug in. Yeah, and they stuck, and they had those look face for the entirety of their career. They had those haircuts. See, Jimmy Hart's back.
Hi, Jimmy. Hi. Hi. Oh, that's a big dude.
That's a typhoon. That's an earthquake.
Those are some big dudes.
Yes, they are. They are big dudes. Like, you look at these guys and go, this makes sense as a tag team.
Yep.
Like, he's got a little Richter scale on his,
Yep.
It's the pads. It's really the pads that make, like, those are memorable. It was the weird thing about their action figures for WWE, for the WWF.
Yeah.
They had the pads on. Like the ones I used to have display. I used to have a bunch of old WWF figures. Explaining.
Oh, my bad,
Yeah.
my bad.
I used to have a bunch of old WWF figures displayed in my apartment. I didn't have the Legion of Doom ones because I just never got them. But yeah, those plastic figures had those pads on. So every time you used them, they had the pads on. At least when they made new ones in a more modern series, the pads are removable.
Makes sense.
So you know they're an accessory versus part of the dude's everyday attire. Like the Mountie, that figure had its full getup. The hat, it was like, oh, these are really cool if you're just collecting them, but if you're playing with them, it was weird that they were always in their entrance gear.
It's just the haircut was intentional.
Yes, the haircut's intentional.
Okay.
That's called tag team wrestling. You do stuff intentionally.
Woohoo.
So I'm waiting for a good shot on Earthquake's tattoo. This is a great story about his tattoo. If you ever get a look at it, you'll see it's definitely a tiger jumping out of the brush. I'm not sure if they'll ever get a shot of it. But that's what it is. It's a tiger jumping out of the brush. When he left WWF, he went to WCW, where they gave him the gimmick. They renamed him the Shark. So he went through the expense and the time to have his tiger turned into a shark. Yes. Hoping it would help him, his longevity and his ability. He had that gimmick for less than a year.
He was stuck with that tattoo?
Yes. I think he still has it to this day. He still has a shark tattooed on his shoulder. Typhoon would go on to become one of the most infamous moments of WCW wrestling.
Oh.
He played a character called the Shockmaster, whose debut he wore a furry coat and a sparkly stormtrooper helmet. He was supposed to bust through a wall. Nobody told him the board at the bottom of the wall wasn't a breakaway board.
Oh no.
He tripped. The helmet came off. He then had to grab the helmet, put it back on, and they tried acting like nothing happened, except the British Bulldog, because he was also working for WCW at this time, was standing in the background, clearly laughing and saying he fell on his ass.
There's all these things I now want to look up, but I have to pay attention, Martin.
Guess how well his WCW career went.
Not well.
Not well. You don't do that. I have actually his biggest match in WCW on DVD.
Huh.
Or Blu-ray. It's a Blu-ray because he wrestled in. There's the there's the tiger. But yeah, no, that's the Shockmaster is one of the most infamous pieces of what's called wrestle crap. I guess I could probably turn on the lights. It's getting kind of dark, so I'm gonna do that while I still talk.
Darkness. No parents. Have lots of money.
Courtney,
What?
you don't have lots of money.
I don't.
You wish you had lots of money.
I do.
Bam!
Boom.
That's a good spot for two guys their size.
That is.
Like, it's a fairly safe spot, but it looks good.
Well, that's impressive. Until that happened.
But you can tell the way he picked him up, that was the outcome.
Yes, that was the intention.
Yes. But it does show he probably actually could slam him. I mean wrestling slam, because there is the assist of the other guy in a wrestling slam. But given Animal's actual physique, he might bench that kind of weight. Here we go, Hawk, here we go.
Caw.
Stay off the drugs.
I love you, Jules.
Yeah, Hawk actually probably said that. Well, not said that, but Hawk believed that one. He loved drugs and alcohol.
I guess if we had to play Alive and Dead, this would be an easy one to guess.
At least that one. Well, I think him, Typhoon. I don't think Earthquake is. I think he's still around, but I could be wrong on that one. And I'm kind of in the same boat with Animal. But Hawk is, yes.
That's sad.
He had demons. Which would actually, was it later this year? I think so. I think it was late in 92. Yes. Yeah, because they went to England for the SummerSlam pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Hawk wrestled at that pay-per-view
Uh-huh.
and then never got on a plane to come back home. Because he hooked up with the Hells Angels in England and just palled around with them for a while.
Huh.
And then quit the WWF.
Probably wanted to change the hair.
No, he kept the hair when he went to WCW as a solo act.
Oh.
Until Animal eventually...
But I thought he didn't get on a plane to come back.
Eventually he did. Just not, any time where WWF was going, oh yeah, no, we booked him for stuff, and he's going to be there. Oh, he's still in England.
Well, crap.
No, eventually he did, because he went to WCW while Animal's WWF contract ran out.
Ah.
It's a weird moment in wrestling when you see when you saw, at this point in time in the early 90s, one of these guys wrestle without the other one. Because, they still dressed the same. They still were definitely a tag team, just not working in the same place. That's a Bigfoot.
That was.
And you see animals holding the tag rope.
Oh, that's why there's a rope.
Yep. If you want to tag, you're supposed to hold the rope. This is a rule that is used when they want to use it.
Alright.
Because even in today's wrestling, the tag rope is still there.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's a, if you want to use it.
Got it.
Kind of, like, very rarely do you see, so, you weren't holding the tag rope. Tag doesn't count. No rope. You weren't holding it. Because the only reason the tag rope was ever first introduced was so that you had a reason why they couldn't just walk to the other corner and get tagged in. Because now the rope gave them the distance that they could be from...
Wrong one.
Yeah.
Fixed it.
Yay!
Dang it!
Should have touched it.
I almost didn't break your closet door.
Should have touched it.
I shouldn't have.
Hawk's looking for... Oh, you got the tag!
Oh, wow. That's a... Okay, oh.
What's up?
Yep. Oh my gosh, Brewer game. My watch was notifying me of the Brewer game and of multiple Twitch streamers that I follow started a stream.
Oh, okay.
Although I'm kind of in a phase of I don't really watch any of my Twitch streamers. And then I'll have phases where I'll watch them while like I play video games and just have it in the background. And then I won't watch for a while. Then I will. Then I will.
Okay.
Then I will. Then I won't. All right, this is happening. That was such a gentle put down.
Yes.
That was adorable. They literally just... What?
Yeah, no, this is all part of... Wow! Those...
Did you even, like, hit?
So the swings had nothing behind them, but that was definitely Earthquake's head bouncing off a...
Oh, for sure. Okay, so how... So did they just... What is going on?
Okay. The Legion of Doom lost by countout.
Okay.
The belts don't change hands on a countout. Jimmy Hart grabbed the belts, handed them to the Natural Disasters, but it was a countout, so they can't win the belts. So the LOD lost, but are still the champions.
Okay.
Because they wanted them to have a rematch somewhere else. I forget where.
Alright.
I know the Natural Disasters eventually win the belts, I think. I think they're the ones that win the belts off of the LOD.
Oh, look at that. It's knockoff Jay Leno.
Yes.
There's no way those...
Yes, it's a set.
No, but like, how could they think that convinces us those are legit lockers? You can't even fit like a book.
Yeah. Also, if you think of them just walking up the ramp and leaving to get to the locker room, they would have had to have, like, ran, probably. Also, the camera went up too high, and you can see the top of the
Yep.
I never noticed that before. But you love the little details like the phone
Yeah.
and the steam room, shower room, door. He is literally breathing to talk.
Yep. Dear God. Brock Lesnar would be handling these guys a towel.
I mean, they're big guys who just did work an actual physical match.
Oh, unlike Brock Lesnar.
He doesn't work a physical match, no.
Does not. The man does nothing but suplex. Oh, look at that crushed velvet jacket.
It's a nice jacket.
It's a nice jacket.
And Bobby Heenan's got a little,
I call it a sequined peeled banana.
It looks like a sequin peeled banana.
You're welcome.
I'm not going to argue with you on that one. Okay?
That looks like a sequin peeled banana.
This might be the Rumble. I think the Rumble's next.
Rumble.
I don't
Rumble.
think there's any other matches. I loved this era of wrestling where nobody had scripts. They just got to talk.
Yeah.
And whatever crazy crap came out of their mouths, that's what it was.
Yep.
One down, one to go. Indeed, if he were to win the Royal Rumble, he would be making World Wrestling Federation history, folks. It is exciting. Once again, I hope there is some kind of order with Sean Mooney. Let's go to you. Well, thank you, Gene. The second half of the Royal Rumble still to come for the first time in World Wrestling Federation history.
Back in the not locker room.
Guys, we added a towel. It's fine.
There's a great deal of tension here in the locker room. Understandably so. Each participant has the chance to become.
And this is clearly the same set a minute ago that had nobody in it but the natural disasters.
And no towels.
Excuse me, Shawn Michaels. Big opportunity coming your way this afternoon.
Oh, Shawn.
Oh, that's right. This version of Shawn Michaels just started. Like, just started a week ago. Because this is how Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty broke up. And basically the beginning of Shawn Michaels' his ascent into stardom.
I don't remember Shawn Michaels as blonde.
Yeah, at this point he was a bleach blonde. And he did it to distinguish himself from his tag partner. And then when he started the pretty boy gimmick, it kind of worked.
You know, I don't know what the big deal is. Think about it, Jannetty. I saved you 29 other beatings. I mean, sure, you know.
Yeah, so that's what started his singles ascent to be Shawn Michaels.
Got it.
I don't think so. Now everybody is going to find out.
Although it would have been interesting had he actually won the world title a week after. But that is not how history goes. It would be a couple of years before he'd win the world title.
All right, then.
97? 96? 96.
I've managed to get myself
Woo!
Ric Flair to this Coliseum video exclusive. Tell me, Mr. Flair.
Coliseum video exclusive.
What else would I do number 3? To a lot of people out there, they say, my God, what a disadvantage you're going at. But look at it like this. Your name is Ric
So this wasn't part of the pay-per-view.
We're going to claim it to the real world.
This was added in to the video release. Him saying, I drew number 3. Thanks for ruining the surprise of what number you but he's still very well
Yeah.
spoken, even for that. So if in case for those people who really wanted to watch that Beverly Brothers Bushwhackers match, we're now on a different intermission piss break.
Macho Man Randy Savage!
Getting to do his
I was about to take a pee break and I'm like, nope.
Oh, that's right. That's right. This is the first time you realize Randy Savage doesn't understand the rules of this match. When you watch this match, watch for it. He will jump over the top rope and then roll back in.
Does anyone catch it?
Oh, everybody catches it. The commentators have to explain that because he wasn't thrown over by somebody else, that it didn't count. Oh yeah, they have to cover for it.
See, it is this simple. The man who is
Dear
standing
God,
last
you didn't do anything.
He
You
probably
just
spritzed to make
wrestling
for the look.
champion. So all I ask you to do
is join your cult.
and will hit you in the head like a
He's supposed to be a face.
for you are looking at the man that is superior.
A face cult?
You are looking at the next world wrestling.
Go back to Macho Man Randy Savage. I don't like you, sir.
You don't like Sid?
It's Sid.
I don't.
Justice.
But he's Justice.
He isn't. What the hell?
The Repo Man.
Closer. You know, one of the biggest thrills in my life is when I get to take something. Hey, today, I got the
Are
opportunity.
they having all three?
No.
Okay.
No, it's just a selected.
Okay.
Wrestlers in the
No.
World Wrestling Federation.
No.
Is this a good time for me to
If
pee?
now's a good time to go pee.
Okay.
And if you're watching this, now's a good time. But you can pause. Well, we can't.
they can pause. We can't.
We can't. This is a commentary. I mean, we can pause. It just takes editing. The British Bulldog.
The Royal Albert Hall in London, England, my hometown. And what a thrill it was for me to display
Yeah, back when they let people in their hometowns.
on the top rope and stand victorious in the
I was always a Bulldog fan.
Royal Albert Hall.
It's really easy in a commentary just to shut up if the other person walks out and start watching what you're doing. So I'm going to try to keep talking. Yeah, I was always a British Bulldog fan. I'm sad about his addictions, but I always loved the British Bulldog and always wanted him to end up being a world champion. That would have been... Ooh, Jake Roberts, also a great wrestler. Another one I always enjoyed and wanted to see more of, even though I think I liked a lot of the guys who had addictions. That's what I found out. Not because they had the addictions, I just liked them and then found out later in life they were the addicts.
Believe me when I tell you, I'll be waiting for you.
So yeah,
Yeah, I'll save some for you.
but I've always been a Jake Roberts fan. Another guy I have a pop with.
I feel better.
That's good.
You're looking at the next World Wrestling Federation champion.
Go right ahead.
You're looking at the man who rocks the
Dun dun. Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, he's representing Ric Flair. Because he was injured at this time and therefore they found other things for him to do.
Ooh, ooh. Haven't heard one of these.
This man had a lot of energy for his promos.
He was just awesome to watch, though.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Whoa!
technically he's not done yet. He wants to have one more match.
Oh dear God.
He's trying.
Oh, I forgot how creepy that guy was.
Paul Bearer?
I always was so creeped out by
I
him.
love Paul Bearer. Also a wrestler I have a pop of. I have him coming out of his casket.
The Undertaker. Crowned once more.
Oh, Undertaker.
Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion.
Dun, 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 dun.
He is the one that makes me sad. We aren't going to hear their intro music.
Oh, Hogan or Undertaker?
Undertaker.
Yeah.
Because that was always cool.
Oh yeah, no, that always set a mood.
Yeah, no. When I was a kid, I found Paul Bearer to be so creepy. He was so pale, and those eyebrows are so dark and pointed, and then just how he acted, like, it was not a good creepy.
He did his job well.
I can't argue that.
Like, no, I accept that he was creepy, but he did his job well. That's what he was supposed to be.
Oh, Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
What a career he is.
Yeah, he knows best.
Until he didn't, and they got divorced.
That is true. That is true. That was during Brooks' reality show, not his. So
It was all the daughter's fault.
the main wrestling YouTuber I watch,
Yeah.
Brian Zane, Wrestling with Regret, good YouTube channel. He actually reviewed the first season of Hogan Knows Best. Like, went through the episodes. Yep.
Alright.
It was a pretty amusing video. And just, like, his parenting.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was against his daughter Brooke dating anyone, but his younger son was able to have a girlfriend. Yeah. It was that kind of stuff. Like, this is weird. And the way he talked about his daughter and her career and her looks, it's like, no, you shouldn't. I get it. You're trying to help her career, but you shouldn't talk about your daughter that way. Ever.
And then the mom's like, hey, I don't want to be out creeped here. So then after they got divorced, she started dating someone younger than their daughter.
Yes.
Believe that relationship did not last.
They generally don't. And then Hulk Hogan would go on to be filmed having sex. I don't want to say make a sex tape, because I don't think there was consent in the filming of the sex act. Oh, we're officially welcoming people.
Oh, welcome.
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 That was a much better handshake
That was a much better handshake than earlier.
Oh, Jack Tunney. This was actually his job. Like, just showing up and doing this role.
Huh.
He was a promoter who helped Vince McMahon get into Canada. So this is what he gave him to...
Make up for that?
No, to thank him.
Oh. Yeah, I realized as soon as I said make up for that, I was like, those were not the words I meant to say. Who's it gonna be?
I know
Who's it gonna be? The only one to get intro music.
Oh, the number 1 and 2 will be the only ones. He's one of the saddest ones to have never won one of these things.
The British Bulldog.
He does so well in every single one he's in. And he never wins. He came in second once.
Oh.
Actually, that was the 94 Rumble? 94 or 95. Him and Shawn Michaels drew 1 and 2. In that order. Shawn Michaels won, he was number 2. Mm-hmm. They were the last 2 guys in the ring.
Now, I could be mixing stuff up, because from what I remember with childhood, I don't know if I just always mixed them up, but I swore Kurt Angle was British Bulldog. Or am I mixing...
You're mixing them up. And it's my favorite wrestler of all time.
Woo!
I like Ted DiBiase. I really did. I have his belt up over there.
Yes, you do. Yeah. Or maybe... Because British Bulldog didn't always have long hair.
No. In the 2000s,
He cut
he
it.
cut it. Actually, no, it would have been in the late 90s. He cut it.
Because I think that's what I think that was like when I was a kid when he cut his hair for whatever reason I mixed British Bulldog and Kurt Angle.
I mean,
up, like,
British
all
Bulldog
the time.
came back to the WWF about the same time Kurt Angle debuted.
I just remember. Okay, so interesting. Also, just that they go right into it.
Yeah.
All right.
These guys wasted no time. And also, think of what they're fighting for. Like, if you actually put that mentality into what you're doing,
Let's go.
like an actor, like, oh, I'm fighting for a belt. It doesn't matter if it's predetermined. Like, if you're trying to sell that you're fighting for this belt, you're not going to waste time getting at that other guy and trying to get an advantage or get 30 seconds to breathe before the next person comes in.
Now I'm trying to, because I know when we watched this year's Royal Rumble, we looked it up, like how often like the number one actually won.
3 times or 4 times? One of the two. Number 2 has won twice, I think. And it's not happening this year.
Oh, bye.
It did not happen in 92.
Oh, I wonder who's number 3.
But again, in the original broadcast, that interview with Ric Flair wasn't there.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Still fun to make fun of.
And Bobby Heenan is also a representative of Ric Flair. So it worked better because he spent the entire broadcast going, I don't know when Flair's entering, but he's going to do very well. I'm sure he drew a very good number. And then this was supposed to happen. That number 3 is Ric Flair.
It's not as fun without the music. I will give the new Rumbles that. Having the music makes it fun.
The music helps. This one is hampered slightly by the length of the ramp. And right now...
Did someone just throw popcorn at
Probably. Ric Flair was a heel. He was a big heel.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, the heels are more fun.
They are. I've always enjoyed heels more. Like, I do have some... Like, British Bulldog, I always enjoyed the British Bulldog. And he was mainly a face when I first, started to enjoy him.
Ric Flair is just entertaining.
But Ric Flair and Ted DiBiase, both heels. Michaels in this match is a heel. If we just look at my pops, Jake Roberts is also in this match as a heel.
Your Macho Man Randy Savage pop is epic.
I like that Randy Savage pop.
It is such a cool looking pop.
I think for the guys who's actually in this match who I have pops of, Savage and Piper are the only ones who are faces. Everyone else, like Undertaker, Flair, Roberts, Michaels, and DiBiase are all heels and in this match. The rest of them aren't. I think, IRS might be. And IRS would be a heel. I forget if IRS... He has to be. I feel like he has to be, because he starts tagging with Ted DiBiase later this year.
Alright.
But yeah, I like the heels. I always have. I think it's more entertaining, and they were always the ones who could cut a promo. That's the problem. If you were good at talking, you lent yourself better to a heel.
Yeah. And I remember his daughter definitely had the Ric Flair vibe.
Oh yeah. She had her father's charisma. His son did not. His oldest son didn't. His youngest son was unaware. He has a son who died in his teens.
Oh.
Which actually, I don't think the death was. I know he was actually, Ric Flair, as much as you do hear some of the shitty things he does, he actually was a very good father who wanted to be there for his kids. Like, he skipped wrestling bookings to be at his children's events. Because to him, that was more important than this.
So when you say the nasty shit, you're talking like in wrestling? Or in just in real life?
Real life.
Ah.
He was on it's called a plane ride from hell because a bunch of random shit happened.
Ah.
Ric Flair put on one of his trademark robes and started opening the robe. The problem was, he didn't have anything under the robe. He was walking up to flight attendants and opening the robe.
Oh.
This did not get him in trouble, although it was reported on right away back when it happened back in 2002, 2003, one of the two.
Yeah.
That's when it happened. Didn't get him in trouble until last year. When a documentary series called Dark Side of the Ring did the plane ride from hell as an episode and brought what Ric Flair did back to the forefront of the public knowledge.
Interesting.
But, I mean, yeah. But it's like anything else. His legacy took a hit then, but now it's starting to... it's the same thing with Hogan and the comments he made. Now,
Yeah.
when you actually have a legacy, it really is hard to destroy it. You have to do something absolutely horrendous to destroy it.
Yeah.
Give it enough time.
Now, who is 90s Pants?
Haku. Haku is a middler wrestler. He was a good wrestler. He never really amounted to anything other than being on every wrestler's list from the 80s through the 90s.
So Ric Flair did it too?
No, he went under the ropes.
Oh.
You have to go over the top.
So, okay, under the ropes is fair.
Under is fair, yes. But yeah, Haku is probably on every wrestler's lists. Maybe even to this day is still on every wrestler's lists of guy you don't actually screw with. Because he's apparently a very nice individual, a very pleasant guy. Has ripped people's eyes out.
Holy crap! That is not where I thought that sentence was going!
No, he's legitimately...
Oh my gosh!
He's legitimately a tough guy and a badass. You get into a legit fight with him, he will win.
Holy crap! Like, in the ring or out of the ring?
No, this was an out of the ring. Somebody got into a fight with him.
And he just like...
Diffused the situation.
I did.
But yeah, he's often cited as a wrestler you don't want to get into a legitimate fight with. And another guy loses their opportunity at the world title. I feel like Ted DiBiase should have been kept around a little longer just to...
Have some fun?
Not... I mean, the ring will eventually fill up. Michaels isn't going anywhere, I don't think. I'm pretty sure he has a decent showing in this Rumble. I mean, he almost has to, because this is literally the first match he's had since going solo.
That's an interesting fan choice.
Yeah.
Do we want to go cow or do we want to go zebra? Why not both?
Why not both? Actually, I think that's actually two different sets of tights.
Either way, same
Like,
illusion.
the lower set
Yeah.
is the zebra print.
That I can tell.
I think that's how he did those tights. Because he wore those kind of tights for maybe he is eliminated.
Whoa, snap.
Oh no, he does one of those. And then... Because Michaels is another guy who's able to skin the cat, go over the top, and then pull himself.
Got it.
That's actually how he won his first Royal Rumble. The one against the Bulldog. Bulldog knocked him over. He held on. One foot hit the floor. Both feet have to touch. And then he pulled himself back over and dumped Bulldog while he was celebrating. Because he thought he won.
Oh. What year was that?
94 or 95? 95.
Oh, and right on the McNuggets. Oh, and bouncing on them.
Yes. Yeah, they don't do that one that often anymore. That was
You
a,
always gotta look out
that was-
for the McNugget.
that was a staple of, like, 90s wrestling right there, was bouncing the dude on the ropes on his crotch. Which, again, if you're wearing a cup, super safe. A little uncomfortable, but super safe. Oh, you're such a good wrestler with such a horrible gimmick.
What's his...
That is Tito Santana. He is a former Intercontinental Champion back in the early 80s. I actually met him. I have his autograph in my bedroom.
Trying to go for, like, the luchador bag?
Currently, he's being billed as the El Matador, Tito Santana. Bullfighter.
Matador.
He's
That's...
Yeah. He's supposed to be a bullfighter.
I mean, I get that from the look.
Yeah, it's not a great gimmick, though.
Oh, no, it'd be a terrible gimmick.
Yes.
What are you going to do? Wave a flag and hope they charge through it and then give themselves a concussion?
If he had his full ring attire, he'd come out with the jacket and the red cape.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah. But he's a really good wrestler.
Come on.
Like, he's an amazing wrestler, just given such a bad gimmick to work with.
So, my question, so we picked this one because you said it's considered to be...
One of the best Rumbles, yes.
What makes it one of the best?
It really is this match. It is this Rumble match and the story that it tells.
Okay, so it's kind of when as it unfolds, it'll make sense to me.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, pulling him by the dreads. Oh, ow. To be fair, he shouldn't have them anyway, so Ric Flair, I will allow it.
Because that's even the other Rumbles that are considered really good. Like 2001 is another one. It has a lot of good matches leading into it, but it's the story the Rumble itself tells.
Fair.
I mean, that one tells it in segments.
Huh.
Like, because there's a whole moment where you get all the hardcore guys coming in and beating each other up with hardcore weaponry, and then Drew Carey shows up, and...
Fantastic.
Um...
And now we have a caveman.
He's the Barbarian. Which, I mean, that's an accurate attire for a dude called the Barbarian. Want to take a bet how long the Barbarian's gonna last?
Gonna go with not very long.
I don't remember how long he lasts, but I'm pretty sure he's right up there with Haku and Jerry Sachs.
I knew it was gonna be like, somehow the British Bulldog was gonna, like, just... While it looks like he's throwing him over, the British Bulldog just should be like, I'm just gonna take my legs and just, whoop!
That has happened in Rumbles. Where they, double up somebody else.
No, I meant, like, that the British Bulldog was gonna somehow wrap his legs and then just pluck him out.
And pluck the other guy out. No, that has happened.
Oh, like, I'm taking you with me.
I'm taking you with me, and I'm hanging onto the ropes, but you're going down to the floor.
Got it.
Both have happened. In the history of the Rumble. Because once you get guys limber enough to do it,
Yeah.
I'm taking you out and hanging onto the ropes becomes a very plausible elimination tactic.
Oh my god, I didn't realize he was wearing a scrunchie.
Yes, to hold back his hair.
We've got a scrunchie. We've got a scrunchie, everybody. It is truly the 90s.
I love Shawn Michaels just clearly waiting for something.
Just gotta chill up here. Oh, you're not coming to me? Oh, okay, I'll help you.
That nobody else realized he was doing.
Oh, snap.
The Barbarian's in the I'm not getting eliminated position, but you're going to think I am. Bulldog just did the I'm not getting you out, so I'll go work on this other guy.
Yep.
Michaels is the historic I'm getting thrown over the top rope without getting thrown over the top rope.
Wow, somebody's really a big fan of the Ultimate Warrior.
Actually, he just happened to have the tassely boots. That's the Texas Tornado Kerry Von Erich.
And no one bothered to tell the Ultimate Warrior that he stole his boots?
Kerry had probably been a bigger name longer than the Ultimate Warrior. The Von Erichs, as a family, ran one of the territories back in the late 70s, early 80s, with Kerry being one of their biggest draws. Hence why Vince McMahon wanted it. Oddly enough, those boots also serve a prosthetic purpose.
Yes.
Gary Von Erich got into a motorcycle accident. He's missing. Well, he's dead now, but he was missing half of one of his feet by this point.
What the crap?
The boot, one, covered it, but also gave him the stability to. I don't remember if it's half. He's missing a part of one of his feet from a motorcycle accident.
Holy crap.
Oh yeah. The more you know.
The more. Ding, ding.
So the tassels themselves might also cover any mild limp that he might have.
Fair enough.
So it could be as simple that the tassels. Also, they look really cool if he would do his finisher in this match. The tassels make it look really cool because it's a tornado punch, so he spins around before he punches a guy.
Yeah, no, I can see where those would make it cool. They still, just because of recognition.
Yeah. They make.
I associate those with Ultimate Warrior, hands down. Like the colorful long tassels. That's the only thing that makes me sad is we're not getting Ultimate Warrior.
No, this was one of the many times he was on the outs with Vince McMahon. That was the staple of their relationship. He would be back by the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, he's back at WrestleMania. Because he's part of a terrible, terrible ending to the main event. It's Hulk Hogan versus Sid Justice.
Yeah.
It was supposed to end with Hogan doing his leg drop that nobody kicks out of, and then another wrestler coming down and breaking up that pin, causing disqualification, and the Ultimate Warrior was supposed to show up. The wrestler who was supposed to break up the pin missed his cue.
Oh.
So Sid did the only thing he could do at that exact moment. Kicked out of the move no one's supposed to kick out of. And then his manager got on the ropes to do something to cause the disqualification. Then the wrestler who was supposed to interfere showed up, and the Ultimate Warrior showed up.
That sounds like a disaster.
It was. It was a disaster.
British Bulldog's just like, guys, you can beat on me. Just let me have 5 minutes to sit.
I mean, he's been in it since the beginning, and Ric Flair's 2 minutes behind him.
No, it'd be 4 minutes. Because 2 minutes would have been...
He's number 3.
Yes, but... Oh!
1 and 2 start the match.
No, British Bulldog was first. Then number 2 was...
Ted DiBiase, but they enter at the same time.
Oh,
The clock starts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Ric Flair's 2 minutes behind Bulldog.
Got it.
Well, the Rumble's 2 minutes. Whether it's an actual 2 minutes or...
Yeah.
Oh, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Wow. Now that man's got some light feathery locks.
Yes.
That was just a natural wavy float behind it. That was beautiful.
At this point, he's basically at the end of his WWF career. I actually think he's a replacement for somebody else. They announced somebody, but they got injured or couldn't make the show, and he got put in.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of those in this one. I just can't remember. I think Haku was another one who wasn't originally... Who was basically... They had months left on their contracts. So they got put in this match because they're available.
Fair.
Even though they had talent announced.
Ric Flair's now just like, no one's noticing this? Okay, sweet, I'm taking a breather.
In this kind of a match, you gotta find those moments. Especially if you're supposed to be the Iron Man, who's supposed to be in there for a long time. You gotta find it, because this isn't necessarily a slow-paced match. This is...
And Barbarian is still in it.
That surprises me a little bit. That surprises me a little bit. Repo Man, they were actually trying to push at this point. So him, I get why he's still in there. Where am I
Wow, Rick, that was an obvious bad kick. Hold, Sean, hold.
4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Greg Valentine was supposed to be in it, but Haku and Nikolai Volkov, that dude right there, oddly enough, are replacing two guys. One, Marty Jannetty, who obviously after the Shawn Michaels moment, obviously he wasn't injured in it, but you can't throw a guy through a plate glass window and then have him walk out.
Yes, we got some U.S. and USSR flag action on those shorts.
That was Nikolai Volkov's character at this time.
Yes!
He started off as the straight Russian sympathizer when he first started wrestling, and when he goes face, he then has to add the American flag. But yeah, so those are the two guys who were added to this match to replace more used talent at the time. Which surprises me, because I swear Greg Valentine was basically also... But he is a former Intercontinental Champion, so... In a match for the world title, it makes sense. I forgot Greg Valentine's finisher is the same as Ric Flair's. Hence, why he's doing it, and there goes Nikolai Volkov.
Bye, Kami.
The replacements don't last long in these matches. Once you find out, they're replacing somebody else, they almost never last that long, because...
They weren't in the original rating.
Yep. They're not in the original plans, and they have no chance of winning. But even at this point in the match, I mean, people would have accepted British Bulldog because he was always popular.
Oh, wow. Wow, Hammer, you were really showing you're at the end of your career there.
I mean, he still wrestled for a bunch of years, just not
that was
in the WWF.
PS4 wrestling. Oh, it's the cop!
Yep, the big boss man.
Oh, his shirt's already unbuttoned. He's gonna lose.
Oh, no, it'll get all the way unbuttoned and untucked. I mean, that's in a singles match. In a Rumble...
Respect my authority!
Now the ring's actually gotten fuller, so you see a lot more that's going on. And there's a lot more to see and be entertained by.
Oh! Oh!
Watching Shawn Michaels try to flip and flop through these matches is always a good time.
The man is like a fish.
And there goes Repo Man.
Get a better character.
I like that character. Actually, the dude I watched to recap Raw and SmackDown,
Yeah.
Repo Man's his favorite wrestler. It's his favorite gimmick of all time. It's hilarious. What Culture Wrestling? Also a good wrestling YouTube channel for news and results. I don't know why I'm plugging other YouTube channels, but why the hell not?
Yeah. Wow, British Bulldog. Way to go, man.
Oh!
Wow, that was well talked on my part.
Oh yeah, I forgot Gorilla Monsoon got that timing down. Perfect.
And Ric Flair is just like, boop.
I forgot Monsoon did that, like, just as he was saying, oh yeah, the British Bulldogs, Ric Flair's been in there 22 minutes, meaning Bulldog's been in there this long. Wait, Bulldog's eliminated. And there goes
Oh, they
Tito and
took
Shawn.
each other
Yeah.
out.
You'd expect a camera should have been on that.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that just didn't happen when it was supposed to, so they weren't ready.
It might have. It was supposed to happen, but I think a cameraman was probably just out of place. Because you would have expected you would have went to that cameraman right there too.
I'm sorry, I have, like, that was such weak, I'm not actually punching. When he was just, like, barraging Rick's stomach. I was like, that is so obviously like you're not even making contact.
Yeah. Bam! I mean, but seriously, he's been in this match already almost a half an hour.
Yeah.
You gotta pull your stuff a little bit, especially if he's supposed to take moments like that power slam he just took.
Yeah.
And is the cheese gonna stand alone? Oh nope, it's just Ric Flair and the Boss Man.
Respect my authority. Also, just given how the wrestlers have been dressed so far in this pay-per-view, it's really weirding me out, I think, that one is still in a shirt. Because I've seen him multiple times and forget. I'm like, what is that guy doing? Oh, what was that?
That was almost a fuck-up turned into at least doing what you're supposed to do at that moment.
Breathe, Rick, breathe.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, he just cleared the ring. Can't remember fully. I'm thinking it's Savage. I'm thinking Savage is the next entrant. I could be wrong. Oh no, it's Piper. It was a coin toss. Piper would have been my second guess. That the ring is empty. You're sending out a bigger name
Dang.
to pop the crowd.
And he's just like, I'm going to town. Oh, okay. Now this is just fun. You can tell he's having fun. Piper's just like, what's that fun? What's that fun, buddy?
That was a lot of Roddy Piper's MO when he was a wrestler. He knew if he had fun, the audience, because look, they got on their feet when he came out.
Yeah.
This is a man who's never held the world title, and he could do that just by running down a ramp.
How long was he in the WWF?
He was there from the late... He headlined the first WrestleMania with Hulk Hogan. So shortly before that, he actually retired in the late 80s to be an actor, which is when he made the movie They Live with John Carpenter. Great movie. But when the film role started to wash up, he had came back in the early 90s, like late 1990, late 1990 is when he came back.
So he was out for like 2 years?
He was out for about 2 years. And then he was back until 96. And then he went to WCW for the next portion of his career, which would have been 97, late 96 through 2001 when it went under. And he made he made sporadic appearances with WWE after that. Ooh, Jake Roberts. At least he didn't bring the snake with him.
I know, but because I know who he is, like my brain like shut up.
Honestly, that is one of the greatest early Rumble moments.
Oh my god, I'm just gonna sit and watch.
Why? Why wouldn't you?
That's genius.
I love it when the heels do that. Like, I'm gonna watch you do what you're doing. I'm not gonna screw with this. But no. So Andre the Giant wrestled in one of these ones. The first pay-per-view one, the first 30-man version. Andre the Giant was in. So you have to figure out how do you eliminate Andre the Giant without letting him win.
Yeah.
Because those are your only options.
Yeah.
Jake Roberts is how they figured it out. They set up an entire angle leading up to this Rumble that Andre the Giant was terrified of snakes. So Roberts came out, dumped his snake in the ring, and Andre crawled over the top rope.
Oh, out. Yep, I'd be like, out, I'm out,
But
screw this.
Admit it.
Oh.
It's a genius way to get someone like Andre the Giant out of a match like this without having to let anyone eliminate it.
That's, Nope. Thank you for not picking that one.
No.
If you haven't picked up on now, my biggest fear is snakes. They have no legs, and that they can move like lightning. That's the devil.
They can. They can.
That's straight up the devil. And they can all go away. Oh. No, not ready. Not ready.
And this... Oh, it's Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Is what?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He actually is the first man to ever win a Royal Rumble when it was only 20 guys.
This is my 2x4!
So, here's a funny story about the Royal Rumble. Vince McMahon hated this idea when it was first pitched to him, because this wasn't his idea. This match was not his idea. He hated it. Thought it was one of the stupidest things he'd ever heard. And he was pitched by one of his closest friends. One day they had to come up with a special for the USA Network.
Yeah.
And he didn't have anything. He had nothing the network liked. And his friend was with him. So finally he looked at him and went, you know what, tell him your stupid idea. 35 years later...
Oh, look at that. Vince McMahon was wrong about something again.
It's one of the most, like, even people who don't watch wrestling, people who haven't watched wrestling for years, still want to watch the Royal Rumble. Because when you can get one like this,
it's pretty dope.
Which is super entertaining, you get a bunch of, you see a lot of talent, it's a great time when you can get a good one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this year's wasn't good ones.
No. Because of what? Brock freaking Lesnar.
You can't blame it all on Lesnar. There was other problems.
There were other problems, but as soon as you heard that music, you knew that man was suplexing his way to freaking victory.
They also ran into the problem that they were trying to book both around surprise entrance without booking actual, like, known talent. Like, they were both people who came over from MMA, and they're trying to push both of them.
Now, my question, why in the hell did he walk in with a 2x4 in the air?
What was his thing?
Okay. It's an interesting choice.
Yep. Oh, IRS is in this match. Okay. Oh yeah, Erwin R. Shyster is what it stands for, IRS. Guess what his gimmick is? It's IRS. What's the first thing that pops into your head?
Take my money.
Yes. He's a wrestling tax man.
Well, see, the reason I paused is just with how things are going, or what we had for wrestlers, and the names, and the cultural appropriation, I think it's not hard to know where my brain went.
Yeah. No, he...
And if there was going to be a certain community very offended.
Nope, he's just a wrestling tax man. Obviously, he's a heel, because he's a wrestling tax man.
Yep.
Actually, Duggan and Piper are the only faces right now in this ring. Was Flair going to do his front face flop? Yes!
What? 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 I don't... What?
He had to get somewhere safe.
So he just... You know what?
That was the thing he did.
You guys are... I'm going to give you a break. I'll just flop myself.
That was a Ric Flair special. That was as common for Ric Flair back in the day as him bleeding.
Wow.
And now, every time he would bleed, because he'd do the hairline cut.
Yeah.
So it bleeds a lot, but it doesn't leave that much of a scar on the forehead. He'd then inevitably in every match do one of these. So his blood would end up in that white hair. Oh, Jimmy Superfly Snuka. He got away with murder.
Oh, is that the one that you're telling me about his daughter was in?
Yeah, his daughter was wrestling. But yeah, Snuka murdered someone, didn't get tried for it until he was actually unable to stand trial. because he was too old and he had started to go senile. That's the kind of thing that actually does take one's legacy.
Yeah. Murder will do that.
Murder will do that. I mean, anyways, his best years were probably the late 70s into the early 80s to begin with. At this point, he's just a...
Upside down triangle?
Yes?
I mean, his shoulders are so broad, and that man...
Oh, he's still got muscle. He's just...
Oh, he's got muscle, but all the leg day in the world can't negate the fact that you don't got hips.
And his style changed a lot. His look changed a lot. Because he's another guy who, when in his prime, he wrestled barefoot. Bam! Like, as much as you were saying other people weren't really hitting flair or making it look good, Piper he knows his job.
Piper was definitely not holding back, and I appreciate that.
But Piper would be on the list of guys people actually would believe to win this match. With Roberts, Flair, these are all guys people would honestly believe could win this match. Whereas Duggan and Snuka don't fall into that category.
Undertaker!
Obviously, that means we're between 20 and 30. We're already down to the last quarter of this match.
Wow.
A good Rumble moves fast.
And he's just so... you forget how just big of a dude he is.
So yes, this is what a good Rumble looks like.
Yeah,
Is you get to the 20th person, like, oh, I'm already 20 guys.
This is a lot better than the one we watched earlier this year.
Oh yeah, you stay entertained.
Also, just his early look is just
It's great, and there goes Jimmy Snuka.
With the gloves and how much, oh my gosh, just the early look for him. And it's just so different because you know what they do with him.
Oh yeah.
And
you know his history.
Well, and as I say, he's one. I was like, whether you follow wrestling or not, you know Undertaker.
30 plus years will make anyone a good name. Especially staying with the same company. Which is funny, because he did wrestle for WCW before he became The Undertaker.
Yeah.
And he was, being set up to be a bigger named guy. It's just, he got the opportunity to wrestle for Vince McMahon. And he took it. So, Mean Mark Calloway stopped being a thing, and The Undertaker was born. At that pay-per-view, that's above the TV. That has a glare on it now. The 1990 Survivor Series. Because that's his debut. Not why I own that. That's another pay-per-view I grew up watching a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
I had both VHS of both of those.
Yeah.
I watched them a lot.
I believe it. Knowing you, I believe it. Macho Man Randy Savage!
And did you see Roberts crawling under the bottom rope to get away from Savage?
Oh, another one. Just straight up fun to watch, and whether you follow wrestling or not, you know
Oh, yeah.
him.
And actually one of the few guys who, as far as I'm aware, never really did anything to make you... his personal life never really screwed with his legacy. I mean, other than his dislike of Hulk Hogan. Which caused him to write a rap album.
Wow, I need that album.
It's called Be a Man, Hogan. Well, that's the song. Now watch. And Bobby Heenan jumps on it right away. If you listen to the commentary, Heenan jumped on it right away. Undertaker being a fairly new wrestler, caught on real quick what was happening. You're like, I should go.
Make it a thing.
I should go do something about this.
Get back in there. You're welcome.
And then now, Undertaker doesn't have to care. Savage went out.
So I'm gonna guess Savage and Jake the Snake kind of.
They were feuding at this point. This is, as much as I don't want to say this is the end of the feud, this is the last time the feud was on pay-per-view.
Ah.
Because by WrestleMania, Jake Roberts is fighting the Undertaker. Because the way Savage's feud ended with Roberts was Savage beat him in a match and Roberts was waiting backstage to hit him with a chair, or Liz, Savage's wife and manager, stating that he didn't care which one he hit. He was hitting whoever came through the curtain. And then Undertaker showed up and prevented this, which is when Undertaker went from being the heel to being a face. Because he did something heroic. Ooh, Hacksaw Jim Duggan's looking to try to get rid of the Undertaker.
Now what Rumbles did Undertaker win? Because I know he's won some.
He won 2000. He won the 30th. So that would have been 2007.
Okay.
87, 97, 2007. He won the 30th because the set I have is on the first. No, he won the 20th. Sorry, he won the 20th.
So 97?
87, 97. It's still 2007.
Oh, still, okay.
My math is bad. Because that's the first 20 years is the DVD set I have.
Gotcha.
And he wins the last one. And then, I don't know if he won another one. He might have. I think he did. I just don't remember the year.
Because one that he won, I'd be willing to watch. Because that would be...
Because I know the first one, he's the first guy to ever win at the number 30 spot. I think. Or he's the second guy. He's one of the first. He's either the first or he's the second to enter at 30 and win.
Okay. Oh, the Undertaker?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that'd be a bummer. You have the whole thing and then you would barely get to watch him wrestle.
Yeah. Which is funny because I think he's entered at number 30 in like 4 or 5 of these things. Oh, the Berserker. That is what it is.
Yep.
He's Norse.
Sure he is.
He's a Viking. It's okay, there's way more interesting talent in the ring anyways. Mm-hmm. You got Ric Flair, you got Randy Savage.
And the fact that Ric Flair is still in it.
Yes. But yeah, you got Flair, you got Savage, you got Undertaker, you've got Piper. As much as there's no way in hell he's going to win, IRS is a good wrestler. Like, he's just genuinely a good wrestler. Flair's 45, yeah.
Dang.
Oh no, the Iron Man. Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, I think I know who the next entrant. Is that going to be the next entrant? Is he the next entrant? Oh no, it's Virgil.
This is just a good time.
They were just talking about the guy who had the longest time in the Rumble record previously, which was the 91 Rumble, which is a guy named Rick the Model Martel, who is in this one as well. He was in that one just shy of an hour.
Wow.
Didn't win, but he put on a hell of a show for being in there for as long as he was. Because it, kind of like what Flair is doing, it never looked like he really had a breather. Like where you could tell, like sometimes they'd get like this, and you'd get a breather that way. But it was that, where it's, you kind of get a breather, but it still looks like you're actively doing. Martel mastered that concept. Which is sad that he never really got anything out of WWF after that. His biggest success would come in WCW, where it got cut short due to injury. Which did, Booker T, the dude who was, yeah. That's actually how he got his push. It was at a pay-per-view. Him, Rick Martel, and one other guy.
That's the one I just said is like a beefed-up Tybo guy?
He was one of the guys promoting...
Oh, no. Yeah. Dreadlock. Okay,
yep.
That's on the commentary. Yep.
Him, Rick Martel, and one other guy were doing a match where Martel and Booker T would fight, and the winner of that would then fight the other guy. Martel was supposed to win both matches, because it was for a belt.
Yeah.
Martel blew out his knee in the middle of his match with Booker T. Being an actual veteran and knowing the injury, Booker T won that match. Meaning Booker T and the other guy had to call a match on the fly. Because they obviously didn't prepare anything, because they didn't think they'd be fighting each other. So they called I think it ended up being like a 15-minute match.
Yeah.
On the fly, where they actually did stuff like springboards and stuff you don't expect to call on the fly. It definitely raised his stakes a lot. And now we have Colonel Mustafa.
So racist.
Oh, he's an Iranian soldier. Kuwaiti soldier? Who are we at war with in the Gulf War?
That would have been Kuwait.
Yeah, so he's a Kuwaiti soldier.
No. Yeah, I was going to say, I think it would have been Iraq.
Yeah.
Because Iraq was early 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah. The less racist part is the guy playing him, I believe, actually is of that descent anyways. I don't think he's actually Iranian, but he is of that descent.
That at least makes it somewhat better.
And is a former world champion. Under a different name. Actually, the guy Hulk Hogan beat to start his massive reign, that is Colonel Mustafa. Well, the Iron Sheik.
Got it.
Who is right now wrestling as Colonel Mustafa. So yeah, that was his big claim to fame, was he, and he also won a match at WrestleMania 17 because it was a battle royal and he couldn't physically be thrown over the top rope. Like, health-wise, he couldn't be thrown over the top rope. So he won the match.
There. I get that.
Yep. Why they wanted him in that particular match... Oh, there's Rick Martel. Who is another very good wrestler.
Let go of the pink.
Yes. And also, he's actually got a really good physique.
Yeah.
I get the gimmick. Like, this is one of those where like, oh, it's a weird gimmick, he's a model. And then you look at him and go, yeah, this gimmick kinda...
I can get it.
And he made it work. Like, he had that gimmick for years. He just figured out, like, some guys can take those kind of gimmicks and make them work. And he was just one of them. He just made it work. Same thing with, oh, there goes Iron Sheik.
You mean Colonel Mustafa?
Right. Same thing.
Iron Sheik.
Kind of like IRS. He's a man that he's a wrestling tax man. He did that gimmick for like 5 years.
Oh.
Just because he made it work. He won championships. Huh?
What did he do after that?
He went back to WCW.
Ah.
Because he got fired and went back to the gimmick he had over there. Which was a rich jock.
Oh.
Well, he had 2 gimmicks in WCW. One was called VK Wall Street. Kind of straightforward with that last name. The other one was just under his real name, Mike Rotundo. Where he was, because he is a collegiate like athlete. He was a collegiate athlete, so that was the gimmick he had to begin with. Was he ran a stable of collegiate athletes? It's Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Can't believe the Berserker is still in there.
Yeah.
That is honestly the most surprising. Virgil doesn't surprise me because for some reason they kept trying to make people like him.
So, explain more. Because I'm a little surprised that he didn't go right for Randy Savage, or Savage didn't go for him.
Hogan?
Yeah, explain more of the beef between those two.
Those two had an on and off beef. It all started, well, one, they were both competing for the top babyface spot in the WWF for a long time.
Got it.
Also, I think Rick Martel's got eliminated.
Oh.
I think I swear I saw purple,
You mean pink?
pink flip. Also, Savage believed Hogan was screwing his wife.
Ah.
Or Martel didn't go over the top rope. And then they both worked for WCW, and it was a lot of the same animosity. Savage thought he was a better wrestler than Hogan, but Hogan had all the power. They were frenemies for a very long time.
Ah.
Oh yeah, Hogan had won the last 2 Royal Rumbles up to this point.
Yeah.
And Virgin's got it with Duncan?
Which, I mean, watching it, I can get, like... I mean, that's... Then that's the other big one, like... I'd argue he was... Well, he was more 80s, but yeah, Hulk Hogan, like... You get... He was real.
Yes. I mean, that man, yeah. He was. He made the WWF in the 80s. He wanted to keep that going in the 90s, but the WWF was ready to move on from Hulk Hogan and start promoting other guys.
Mm-hmm.
So he went to WCW and forced them to keep him as the top dog for basically the rest of their tenure of being a company.
Wow.
Up until basically they were doomed anyways, and then Hogan sued them for a lot of money.
Wow.
Well, it was supposed to be an angle where Hogan fought another wrestler. The wrestler laid down for Hogan, which is just walking in and laying down. And then Hogan was supposed to make a speech, storm off, be gone for a couple of months with the world title, and then come back and have a champion versus champion with the world champion they installed in his absence. What ended up happening is the dude laid down, Hogan cut his promo, left the arena, and then one of the heads of WCW walked out and cut their own promo, ripping Hulk Hogan apart. Guess why Hulk Hogan sued?
It's a real toughie.
It's a hard one to figure out, right?
Oh, can I have like a multiple choice option?
Yeah. So that was also the last time Hulk Hogan was in WCW, was that moment. And then he legitimately earned his top spot back when he came back to the WWF. Somehow nostalgia.
Yeah, I was gonna say, cause I remember in the 2000s.
Yep. Nostalgia won, and he became bigger than The Rock for a minute.
I was gonna say, the 90s, it was, I remember
He was
Ultimate Warrior, I
Yep.
remember Undertaker, I remember Hulk Hogan a little bit.
Oh, it's
Not a ton.
Sergeant Slaughter, who
Aww.
is just getting over one of the worst gimmicks he's ever had. So Sergeant Slaughter was always Sergeant Slaughter. That's... in 91, he stopped being an American soldier and was an Iraqi sympathizer.
Oh, boy.
Yep. Because they wanted the main event of WrestleMania to be the American Hulk Hogan beating up the enemy.
Oh, my God.
At the 91 Rumble, Sergeant Slaughter won the world title. To begin this match. which ended up not doing what they wanted it to do because they had to change venues. Because they booked a huge venue and then couldn't sell tickets. Like, they couldn't sell enough tickets to fill a venue. So they ended up moving it to a smaller venue where they could sell. Actually, they just did it with Money in the Bank.
Oh.
Money in the Bank moved from a big...
Yep.
They did the same thing back then. Their excuse for that one, however, was because they couldn't guarantee Sergeant Slaughter... Their excuse they used was because they couldn't guarantee Sergeant Slaughter's safety. Because he was an Iraqi sympathizer. That was their excuse for going to a smaller venue.
Alright.
Yeah, I think we're at... I think there's only, like, maybe 2 or 3 guys left in this match.
But no, like I was saying, like, a little bit, I remember Hulk Hogan from my childhood, but then it was, like, you know, so early 2000s, that middle school age, that was when it was Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and for a brief stint, I do remember, like, the Hulk was everywhere again.
Oh, yeah.
I do remember that when I was a kid. Then John Cena started getting popular, like, as I was, you know, I was more high school into college for me.
I think Sid's 29? Because I think number 30 is just a random, it's not somebody who you think would win.
Got it. Hurry, Pepto, help him. Pepto walked away.
I mean, IRS has put in a good showing already.
Oh, yeah.
He like, because right now, it's Flair, Piper, and then Shyster are the
longest
longevities.
Yeah.
I mean, Piper for working 2 matches.
Piper's doing awesome for working 2 matches.
That's why they started doing it more, as Piper showed, oh, hey, look, they can actually...
Well, and I mean, these are, like, their pre-matches were not short.
No, I mean, Piper's was. That Intercontinental title match was the shortest. But it's still, like, there's still effort being exerted.
Yeah.
Regardless of the length. Oh no, Sid's trying to get Ric Flair. You can't, no, go after somebody else.
He's going for the record!
He might have broken the record by now.
I honestly don't know. This is, like, seriously flown by.
Yes. Again, a good Rumble does that. I mean, even sometimes a bad Rumble can, if like, the gimmicks are entertaining enough.
Yeah.
If the crap is entertaining enough, it can move just as fast. Oh, so it is number 30. This is number 30. With his manager, who's just going to walk in partway down the ramp and then turn around. I never understood that part of these Rumbles. Like, they didn't want the managers to stay at ringside because, you know, that becomes a hazard when you got guys flying over the top rope. But they'd still come out with their clients. And this is it. One of these men is the world champion. They just don't know it yet.
Ah, damn it. I still got one suplex. God, I was going to be able to finally have a Rumble where I didn't have a suplex. At least you made it cool, Hogan.
Oh, there goes Slaughter. Did you catch that one?
I 100% caught his...
Yes. He had fun. Honestly, that bump probably sucked. There is no good way to fall like that.
Oh, no. There is only out pain.
Actually, the next year's Rumble also had a weird longevity guy. It's actually a former world champion called Bob Backlund.
Yeah.
Who was making his return to wrestling at the 93 Rumble. I think he went close to an hour as well, entering early. He spent part of it because they did clear the ring a couple of times in that match, but it wasn't Bob Backlund who cleared the ring. He eventually got like DDT'd or pile drived or something on the concrete outside. So that's how they kept it in the match without having to have it, while still being able to like clear the ring and do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So this is considered one of the best. What's considered like the worst? Would it be this year's?
This year's on that list. This year would be on that list. Trying to think. 94 is only any, or not 94, 95
Yeah.
is only any good because of the British Bulldog Shawn Michaels story. Because that one also only has 30-second intervals. Because they didn't honestly know if guys entering at number 1 and 2 could make it all the convincingly.
Ah, Piper.
I know, right? You kind of want Piper to win. But it is the story of Bulldog and Michaels that makes that one fun. I like it, but again, I watched it when I was a kid live.
Yeah.
And there goes Savage.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
97 is also considered to be not a great Rumble. I like it, but I watch. Also, it's the first one Steve Austin won.
Dope.
But
wait,
some people just,
what year?
97.
Oh, I can't believe he was that early in it.
Yeah. Because he won 97, 98, and 2001.
So they're supposed to be like buddies?
Yep, they're supposed to be friends.
Rick, take advantage. Take advantage of the...
And remember, Hogan's the ultimate baby face.
Holy crap, is that actually what happens? Is
Yes.
that Ric Flair went?
Yep.
That's what I was hoping, but I didn't want to say anything. That's freaking awesome.
You have no idea how many times I just wanted to say who won. I'm like, no, she actually doesn't know. I could get a legitimate reaction
That's freaking awesome.
of Ric Flair entering at number 3.
And winning.
Yep.
Oh my god, that was awesome.
Again, that Coliseum promo kind of spoils what this was, which was Ric Flair.
Yes and no. I would say like it spoils that he comes in early,
Yeah.
but it's not setting up that
No, that he's going to win.
that he's somehow pulling that off.
And remember, Hogan's the ultimate baby face, and he just screwed over Sid. That's also why I didn't say, like, when I said, oh yeah, Jake Roberts by WrestleMania is fighting The Undertaker. Because Randy Savage is fighting Ric Flair for the world title. That's why I didn't put in what Randy Savage was doing. Like, no, she doesn't know who wins. If I say it, it kind of gives it away. It potentially gives it away. I'm just gonna...
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Because I was like, he's been in there a stupid long time. Like, the longer he was in there, I'm like, I just want him to win because of how stupid long he has been in that. And how much just that... Because I don't care how, like, fake or whatever it is. Like, that is still a very...
marathon.
That's a physical feat. Because that was easily over an hour.
Yes.
Easily.
Oh no, it is. It's a marathon to be that one of those guys who has to enter in the first 5 and pull it all the way.
And then they have the second to last and third to last guys screw each other over.
Yes. Because again, they're building up to this as the main event of WrestleMania. Which should have been Flair Savage, because that's actually turned out to be a really good match. It's actually it was a far better match than what these two put together. But Hogan was Hogan.
Yeah. I mean, at the time, if I would have had to put my money on who would have produced a better match, I'd pick the one that involved Hogan. as much as Flair and Savage are both entertaining, yeah, I can understand why they.
It wasn't even who's going to put on a better match. It was what was going to be the more profitable match, and that's Hogan.
Yeah.
And you can't argue Hogan has profitability. I know there's still at least one more thing. Here it is.
Woo!
Also considered, we're not gonna talk. This is considered one of the best promos that Ric Flair's about to give.
Got it.
Congratulations, Ric Flair, on becoming the undisputed champion of the World Wrestling Federation. Want me to say, after distorting the belt, that proclaiming the real world champion, I'm gonna tell you all, with a tear in my eye, this is the greatest moment in my life. When you walk around this world and you tell everybody you're number one, the only way you get to stay number one is to be number one. And this is the only title in the wrestling world that makes you number one. When you are the king of the WWF, you rule the world. Think about it like that, Mr. President.
Woo!
The with a tear in my eye is actually one of the most quoted moments of Ric Flair's career.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How long?
it's over 60 minutes.
Oh, over 60.
Yeah, he broke an hour.
I thought he said 100.
Which, if you think about it, does it feel like that match took an hour? No.
That's why, I looked at my watch and I was like, how the frick is it already as late as it is?
Yep.
Because it felt like that thing had just started.
Yep, a good Rumble will draw you in and hold you there
Yeah.
because you're invested in what's
Like,
going on.
The 3 lead-ups, I was kind of like, oh man, how am I going to stay awake for all this?
But the match itself...
And then the Rumble started, and I'm like, yep, I can understand why people say this is one of the best.
Yep.
Because...
No, if I was
and that's how you can tell he's tired, because that was not a great woo.
No,
The last 2 have not been. I was like, that man is tired.
He's tired. No, if I would show you another one, I'd probably jump ahead to 2001, because that's another... It's a very different style, but it's another really captivating, entertaining Rumble. Plus, its pre-matches are generally really good. You get Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho, 2 great grapplers, in a ladder match. It's a really good ladder match. But yeah, so this was the 1992 Royal Rumble. You wrapping up?
Oh, I don't know what you want me to say here.
Your name!
What? You didn't give me I don't know.
She doesn't know her name.
No, well, no, I didn't know I know my name, but you don't make it clear what we're doing.
Please say your name.
Thank you. I'm Courtney Krause.
And I'm Martin Prevost. This is a Smashy Smashy Eggman movie reviews and more commentary track. We will talk to you later. I hope you enjoyed listening to us, and I hope you enjoyed the 1992 Royal Rumble.
Woo!
Woo indeed. I think we still got a couple more closing images.
So maybe you shouldn't have been... What's your name? You don't know your name?
I thought it was shorter.
Oh, now who looks like the idiot?
I was going to say you.
Oh, it's you. It's you.
You know what? I'm not going to argue anymore. We've just watched the 1992 Royal Rumble. It's a good time. And, so thank you for watching. Again, I hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. You know, the routine to see other commentaries and anything else that I post, the videos and stuff. All right, I will see you later. Have a good one. And enjoy yourself some good wrestling. Talk to you later.